This is DVD Future Audio Video Reviews. In this video we actually won't be reviewing a film or a Blu-ray, but rather we'll be taking a look at 3D. With the recent release of Clash of the Titans in 3D, a film that was actually shot in 2D and then up-converted to the 3D format, I've decided to make a little bit of a review here to discuss some of the problems with that and some of the 3D TVs. I actually managed this week to check out a 3D TV from Samsung, the Samsung UN55C7000. It's a 55-inch 1080p 240 Hertz 3D LED HD TV. So I'll be discussing a little bit about my experiences with that TV and sort of the problems, faults, and issues that are inherent in 3D. But first I want to talk about the theatrical experience. Ticket prices, as you know, have gone up significantly. In some places upwards of 30%, other places it's between 8 and 10%. Honestly, I don't like to pay, I'm married, honestly I don't like to pay $30 to go to the theater to see a film in lower quality. Usually these screens have faults all over the place. The sound isn't nearly as good as the sound I have at home. I have to sit next to people who are talking throughout the entire feature, or they're making noise, discussing the movie silently themselves. It's almost become like almost like an audience participation thing. And the fact that the theatrical experience has gone down so much has made this value, this $30 they make us pay, just seems completely ridiculous to me. And so for me, the theatrical experience is dead. So I'm very much excited to see what 3D can bring for me at home. I've always been a fan of what RealD can do. It doesn't look quite as good as 3D that you see at amusement parks and things like that. I used to work at SeaWorld, and I remember Pirates in 3D looked so much better than the 3D that RealD can provide. But RealD does present a very, very exciting experience, particularly when it's something that's shot in 3D. Avatar looks absolutely terrific in 3D, and the film's box office take. If you're listening to this, you've probably seen Avatar in 3D. If you haven't, you missed out, because it was a really terrific 3D experience. However, Warner Brothers recently announced that they'll be converting all of their 2D films to 3D, and the first film that has been affected by this is Clash of the Titans. And the thought across the board is pretty unanimous that the 3D in the film is absolutely terrible. And this is the sort of film that if the negative reaction continues to grow, this could kill 3D, which is incredibly sad. The film was not shot in 3D. It was not shot for 3D. It was not supposed to ever look 3D. You just can't take something like that and rush a conversion process to 3D. As James Cameron said in a recent interview, he thinks it's a possibility to do 2D to 3D up conversion, but it could take between 6 months and a year. And honestly, with Clash of the Titans, there was an old 3D method back in the day in the 70s and 80s called the Pulfrike effect. It was basically a polarized sunglasses lens and a regular clear lens. You put them on there, images moving right to left create the illusion of 3D. The last thing that used it was, I think, an episode of Third Rock from the Sun. Honestly, the Pulfrike effect works better than the 3D in Clash of the Titans, which is pretty sad considering this is the Pulfrike effect is a good 20 to 30 years old, where this 3D conversion is brand new. But that doesn't mean I'm not a fan of 3D. I think 3D has the potential to really become the next big medium. Not everything is going to be viewed in 3D, and I don't think everything should be viewed in 3D, but films that are shot in 3D and television that's shot in 3D, I can't imagine watching the Super Bowl in 3D. That's going to be a terrific experience when that day comes. Admittedly, I've been a little bit leery about 3D television. I'm not really sure. It feels a little bit rushed. I feel really bad for anybody who just bought an HD TV over Christmas, either got one as a gift or purchased one. It's very, very upsetting because you have a lot of people who just spent thousands of dollars and they're sort of turning around telling them, yeah, that was great that you bought that HD TV, here's 3D. Your TV is now obsolete, your TV that you bought 4 months ago. So it's a pretty unfortunate thing. I haven't previously been able to see what 3D looked like to be able to judge whether it was actually a significant improvement. I was a bit concerned myself just because I've seen what projectors and what televisions can do in 1080p, and they look pretty great as is, so I was a little bit skeptical. I've gone to a couple different Best Buys looking for 3D TVs to see a demo, and I have yet to find one until last night. I was able to track one down at our Best Buy. They finally had the display up and running, and what they were showing was the Samsung UN55C 7055-inch TV. Included the two glasses, and a 3D copy of Monsters vs. Aliens was playing, and there was a high-res audio setup as well. I was actually really surprised by how effective it was. It's a lot like Real D. It doesn't totally come out as much as one of those old movies like the Pirates 3D at SeaWorld I had mentioned. It doesn't come out that far, but it does pop just as much as something in Real D that I've seen before. It's actually pretty impressive. The screen was absolutely gorgeous. Was not very dim. I thought when I put the glasses on it was going to dim the image quite a bit, and it didn't at all. The film just looked gorgeous. The images popped out. I did notice the flicker. A lot of people have talked about being able to see the flicker, and I didn't notice it immediately, but when I set my mind to noticing it, then it became noticeable. My wife was with me, and she actually started to notice it as well towards the end. I also felt a little bit sick, a mild sort of dizziness after it. I watched about 20 minutes of the presentation, and I felt a little bit dizzy afterwards. Not entirely dizzy, but you know, this was something I don't get headaches or feel dizzy when I see a Real D 3D film. It could be just because you know, when I wasn't looking at the screen in 3D, I was looking at it with the double image, and that might have actually been why I was dizzy. Again, I'd like to see a second viewing of it where I could watch an entire film and then be able to judge a little bit better. But from what I've seen, the Samsung TV is terrific. It's just a gorgeous TV. The Blu-ray player was working great. The image was absolutely solid. The glasses were really comfortable. They were honestly kind of cool looking. And they fit right over. I was wearing glasses, and they fit straight over my glasses, no problem whatsoever. They're significantly more comfortable than the Real D glasses, which I know is a common complaint from a lot of people who don't like 3Ds, that, oh, I have to wear glasses. You know, coming from somebody who's worn glasses for about 22 years of his life, get over that. I mean, you know, it's just glasses. But yeah, 3D glasses are just going to have to be something people wear, and then these are actually pretty sleek. So that's a neat thing about the setup, is it as a graphic design from somebody who's interested in that, so from a design standpoint. This is a pretty neat looking TV. It's very, very sleek. The glasses are sleek. The presentation is entirely sleek and very, very effective. Be sure to check out part 2, the exciting conclusion of this review.